students, greetings from my side. And today we are going to talk about resume and cover letter. I'll tell you how to write resume and how to write cover letter. For resume writing, there are certain things which you need to remember. There are certain points which you must bear in your mind for designing a good resume, winning resume. So I would be sharing certain very good points with you, and those points will help you a lot in designing a good resume and also a good cover letter. A resume is a document that introduces you. This is the first thing you need to remember, that it is your introduction. Resume is your introduction. Resume is your introduction. You need to remember this. It is a tool that, you know, works like it may win the proposal for you, it may not win the proposal for you. If your resume is craftily made, if your resume is well prepared, if your resume has some artistic flavor, then definitely it is going to catch the attention of the employer. So you should design it in such a way that you are able to win the attention of the reader. It tells who you are, what you have done, and why the employer should hire you, why the employer should consider you. What you need to show or tell them is that you are suited to the course or job. You possess the skills, you possess the knowledge, you possess the understanding, you possess the personality traits needed for that job. Whatever is the requirement of that job, you are fulfilling, you are meeting those requirements. What is the importance of resume? I always say resume is like weapon of thunder. Weapon of thunder is Brahmastra. It's like Brahmastra for you, because you are going to win the war of life only when you have that weapon of thunder. You are going to get a job only when you have that weapon of thunder. And it gives the first impression, mind it. For seeking job in some company, you need to send the resume first. So it is the first impression. The first impression that you make on a prospective trainer or employer depends on the content and the presentation of your resume. How you have designed it, how you have presented it, that matters the most. In this increasingly competitive job market, it is important that your resume makes an impression and gives you the best possible chance of getting the employer's or trainer's attention. You design it in the way that you get the best possible chance by the side of the employer. What about the cover letter? Resume is incomplete without a cover letter. If you are not giving cover letter with resume, it's not considered complete. It is considered complete. Resume is considered complete only when it has cover letter with it. What is a cover letter? A cover letter is a letter that accompanies the resume and it reflects your knowledge of the employer or trainer. You give knowledge about yourself through the cover letter. Or in a way, we can say that it is also a kind of introduction of yours. But the introduction which you give in resume is entirely different from that of cover letter. In cover letter, you brief the things. You do not put the things in detail, right? But in resume, you elaborate the things, you give the things in detail. So that is the difference. You introduce yourself and you introduce your resume in the cover note. Purpose of cover note is to introduce you to an organization, convey your interest in the company or a specific vacancy, and draw attention to your resume. You see, why you are fitted for that company, why you are fitted for that job. You have to talk about that in your cover note. cover letter shows your interest in the company or your interest in the specific vacancy, right? So you introduce in such a way that you show your inclination towards the company, you show your interest towards the company. Since this letter is often the first contact you have with a prospective employer or trainer, a neat, concise, well written letter will increase your chances of getting an interview. When you design your cover note, when you write your cover letter, mind it should be neat. Grammatical errors should not be there. You should write it in brief, and you should write it in such a way that it creates better understanding about you and about your interest for the company and for the job which you are willing to take. Format of resume. Now, I'm going to give you an insight on the format of a resume. Resume has got three formats. The first format of resume is called chronological resume. Now, how this chronological resume is built, let me tell you that now. You see, it is the most commonly used format. It has your most recent work or education history in reverse chronological order. What is this reverse chronological order? When you talk about your education, when you mention about your education in the resume, you have to start with the most recent work. Got it? For example, you did something in, say, 2019, right? And you took some education, say, in 2016. Then 2019 should be mentioned first. After that, you can mention 2016 and then 2014 and then 2012, like that. So you have to start with the most recent work. Got it? And then you have to move down. This type of resume places more emphasis on your job titles and your employment history over the skills. Whatever skills you have, right? So it lays emphasis on your, employment history over your skills. Now, this is the structure or the layout or the blueprint of chronological resume for the students. Mind it, for the students. First thing is name and contact details. The very first thing in the resume is your name and your contact details. Number two, your objective summary. Second thing is your objective summary. Okay. The third thing is your academic qualification and achievements. Next thing is co-curricular achievements. Then you have to give your training programs attended and completed. After that, you have your strength. Then you have interest or hobbies or skills. It's optional. And then you have personal details. I'll give you the specimen of this resume as well. Don't worry. This is chronological resume for job applicants. The earlier one was for students, right? Now we have the format of chronological resume for job applicants. First of all, we have name and contact details. Then we have objective summary. Then we have career summary. You see, in the previous one, we don't have career summary. Here we have career summary, right? Because this is for job applicants. Then professional experience. Here we don't have experience because that is meant for students. Company, name the company there, job title which you held, responsibilities which you held. Then again, second company, job title, responsibilities or achievements. After that, you give educational details. Then you mention your hobbies or interest or skills. It's optional, right? And after that, you give personal details. Functional resume, the second one. First one is chronological resume and second one is functional resume. Now, what is this functional resume? Functional or skill-based resume places more importance on your skills and accomplishments. Chronological resume puts more emphasis on your educational background and experience. Functional resume is more on your skills. Job titles and where you have worked previously take on secondary importance. Your experience is number two here. Your skills are number one here. There, in chronological resume, your experience has more weightage. Got it? These resumes showcase your skills and experiences and are most suited for people who have gaps in their career. This type of resume is also ideal for fresh graduates who are new to the workforce or are looking to change career paths or are applying for a job with very specific requirements and characteristics in mind. Okay, so this resume is ideal one, best one for fresh graduates, for people like you. This is the best one, right? Because here, what is more important? Here, skills are more important. You have to show your skills in the resume, right? I will consider your skills as an employer rather than your experience, because you are a fresh graduate. Fresh graduate is not having the experience. So for him, what is more important? Experience is not at all important. For a fresher, experience has got nothing to do with it. Skills count. Third format is combined resume. This is the third type: chronological, functional. Now we have combined resume. Combined resume is the mixture of chronological and functional formats. We have both the components there. They consist of a sequential list of a person's employment and education history. It also includes a section that focuses on skills. Now here we have equal weightage on your experience, your education, and your skills. This kind of resume is best suited for people who want to highlight their employment history. A combination resume begins with the functional format and finishes with information of employment history, which provides details of organizations one has worked for with dates. Got it? It means what? Functional format means in the beginning, you have the skill set. A skill set is the first highlight. And then you have the employment history. Employment history is mentioned later. I'll give you the specimen, don't worry. Now, what are the common things? Let's come on to the commonalities. Commonalities means the things which must be there in any kind of resume, whether chronological or functional or combined. These are the common things. Contact information. No resume is complete without contact information. You have to give the contact information, your emailing address, your telephone number, your mobile number, your address. Complete contact information must be there in the resume. Second thing is career profile. A brief summary of your skills and areas of expertise you should mention. Third thing is work experience. Include all your work history experience, dealing the company, job title, responsibilities, dates of company, where you are currently working, or where you were, all these things. Then education. Include details of your education, including licenses or certifications you have acquired, and skills. Mention any relevant skills in terms of software and hardware systems and other technical skills. Whatever skills you possess, you mention your skills there. Points to remember. Number one, your resume should be simple and readable. I should love reading it. You should design it, you should write it in such a way that I find no difficulty in understanding it in reading it. It should be readable. Restrict your resume to minimum number of pages. It should not have many pages in it. The information should be in brief, right? There is nothing called an ideal length of resume. Resume का कोई ideal length नहीं है, right? Ideal length is not there. So try to keep it short and crisp to avoid boring your prospective employer. Okay? Should not be lengthy, should be brief. Provide correct information. Wrong information should not be given there. And avoid exaggerations. There are people who love talking about themselves in detail. They brag. Bragging, you understand? They extend the things to a great limit. Don't do so. Don't write untruths there. Because employer verifies the information you have given. So the information which you are giving, that is for sure to be verified by the employer. That's why you should not write false things there. You should be truthful. You should be concise or brief. Okay? Organize the information in a manner that flows logically, either from academics to job experience for resume writing. Whatever information you are giving, it should be organized well. You should give it in an organized manner. Tone should be neutral. No bias towards community or religion. Nothing should be against community or religion. Your tone should be neutral. And there should not be grammatical errors. Highlight your achievements instead of responsibilities. Unless asked for, do not mention the expected salary in the resume. Mind it. Salary should not be mentioned. If they are asking to mention it, you can mention it. Otherwise, don't mention the expected salary in the resume. This is the sample you are looking for. Sample chronological format. You see the name, address, mobile number, mail ID, everything is in center. You can check that. It is in center. It is not to the left margin or right margin. It is in center. Mind it. Very important point. You have to write the name, address, the contact information along with the name in center of the page. Got it? Thereafter, you have objective. When you design the objective, mind it, it should not be lengthy. Objective should not be lengthy. It should be brief. And the objective should show your interest in the job. Another thing is, your objective should never start with I with any pronoun. Obviously, you will be using I for yourself, but don't start your objective with I. That means your objective should not be in the form of a sentence. It should begin with to, or maybe you can use gerund, verb plus ing. Seeking a platform, looking for an opportunity, something like that, or to be associated with, as I have mentioned it in the slide. It should never be a sentence, complete sentence starting with subject. Got it? And it should be brief. After writing objective, you write the summary. More than 13 years of experience in both practical and managerial aspects of the job. Summary of your career. Possess a flawless understanding of fundamental concepts in accounting. This is an example. Exceptionally good at application of accounting concepts in varied manner. Extensive experience in accounting practices to explore the various facets of the economy. Excellent communication and comprehension skills. In-depth knowledge of foreign policies and trade policies followed by various nations across the world. Thereafter, you give the experience. Okay. In experience, you mention, first of all, the current one. Okay. From 2004 to present, you are on the position of chartered accountant, CA, for example. And this is the mentioning of the department. Audit and Taxation Department. Address is mentioned. That's in Mumbai, right? It's in Mumbai. And then after that, you are giving the detail about the responsibilities you shouldered. You shouldered responsibilities there, and you're mentioning about that, the responsibilities. Dealing with different clients to understand their trading scopes, right? And the status of accounting, managing their financial systems and budgets, performing periodic financial audit for preparation of reply to notices. You are giving the responsibilities, whatever responsibilities you held, you are mentioning that. Then from 2001 to 2004, whatever you did, you mention that. Whatever position you held, and name of the company is from Delhi, that is mentioned here, and you are giving your responsibilities here. Thereafter, education. You see, starting with the most recent 2004, we are starting from 2004 and then coming down 198, 2000, 97, 95. This is the order. You have to begin with the most recent one. Skills. Skill set you give: well versed with MS Office, working knowledge of Tally, completed compulsory 250 hours of computer training as per ICAI curriculum schedule, updated with all the latest computer applications and softwares. And thereafter you have personal details: date of birth, marital status, languages known, permanent address. At the end you have declaration. You declare that whatever information you are giving, that is correct. And then you have date and place mentioned to the left side and name within bracket to the right side. This is the sample of functional resume. You see here, contact information is not given in center. Contact information is mentioned to the extreme left, right? You see, everything is to the extreme left, beginning from the extreme left. Career objective. I told you about career objective. It should not be in the form of a sentence. Then you have technical skills. Here skills become more important. So you have to mention the skills first. Hardware troubleshooting. This is the specimen of a technical person. Network troubleshooting, programming, Java, C++, etc. Microsoft Office, about Creative Suite, right? So technical skills are mentioned here. Then pre-professional experience. Okay, technical support, intern. Here you can mention the internship and all. I believe you must be doing some internship program, or maybe your university will conduct it soon. Maybe in the next semester or next year you will be having some internship program. So there also you get experience. You can mention that here in the under this column, pre-professional experience. Okay. Thereafter you have references. References means you have to mention 2 or 3 names of some people who can speak about you. They should not be your relatives. Mind it. The people you are referring to here should not be your relatives, but they should know you. So company people can talk to them and inquire about you. So in case they ask for references, you can mention a few names here, right? Name of the person, then his or her designation, his or her institutional or organizational address, his or her email ID, his or her mobile number. 2 or 3 references you can get. And thereafter you have declaration. As usual, you have declaration in chronological format also. Then date and place to the left and name to the right within bracket. Personal skills. Sorry, pre-professional, after pre-professional experience, you have personal skills, right? And then you have education. Then you have achievements, responsibilities. And after that, you have references and declaration. Please don't be confused. Pre-professional experience. After pre-professional experience, you have personal skills mentioned, then education, then achievements and responsibilities, and after that you have this references and declaration. Now let us focus on combination format. Here, contact information is given in center, and after that we have career objectives. I told you about objective. Summary of qualification you have. Okay, in-depth understanding of manufacturing process of foods and pharmaceuticals, including research, product testing, in-process control, production planning, process operations, statistical quality control, experimental techniques, product development and technical documentation, whatever it is, you are giving the summary of your qualification. Hands-on training experience you have, you mentioned that. Okay, you are creative, you can mention that. So you are giving the summary of qualification. Okay, whatever you have learned by undertaking various courses, you are just giving a briefing of it. Now you have education, name of the college, address is mentioned, course is mentioned, and whatever you studied, major areas of study you are mentioning. Then you are giving the overview of skills and experience acquired through training. Okay. Thereafter you have employment experience. Okay. Employment experience, remember, you have to start with the most recent one. Thereafter computer skills, and then references if asked for. And at the end you have declaration. You can see computer skills, references, declaration, all these points are given in center. Date and place to the left side and name to the right side within bracket at the end. Format of a cover note or cover letter. Sender's address first, then date, then designation or name of addressee, address of addressee, salutation, that is dear sir or dear ma'am, subject, and after that we have content. In content we have introduction first. Introduction should be written in such a way that you state the position you are looking for. In the beginning you mention that, and also mention how you learned about the opportunity or the company. Whether you saw some advertisement, if you saw some advertisement in some newspaper, you mention that through the esteemed column of so and so newspaper, I came to know about so and so position lying vacant in your company. You start that way. So if some reference is there, you mention that. Then we have the body. In the body of the cover note, you highlight the most relevant skills and experience from your resume, right? This section of your cover letter should contain a detailed description about what you can offer to the company. You must take strong associations between your capabilities and the requirements mentioned in the job description. You have to show that you are most suited for the job, right? You have to prove it. Highlight and explain clearly how and why your skills and experience make you a suitable candidate for the job. You must also develop the information in your resume. Don't just repeat the information, expand on it. Okay. You should try to support each statement you make with some evidence, with some proof. If you're writing that you are honest, you give the proof of honesty there. Some example you can quote there in a line or two. Don't detail it out, but mention it somehow. Okay. Use several shorter paragraphs rather than one large block of text. Explain why you are interested in the job and convey your awareness of what the company does to show that you have done careful research already. Okay. Then conclude your application letter or cover note by thanking the employer for considering you for the position. Give vote of thanks. Include information on how you will follow up. When can an interview or face-to-face interaction be fixed? Include that. And thereafter you give the complimentary close, thank you, thanks and regards. After that you put your signature above your name mentioned in brackets. This is the sample. You can see your address is mentioned, name is not mentioned, just your address. Then one line gap. After that you have the date mentioned. Again one line gap. You have the address of addressee. One line gap. You have salutation, dear Mr. So and so. and then you have subject. After that, you are starting the body of the cover note. This is with reference to your advertisement in the Times of India. You are referring to it. Get it so and so for the post of flight attendant in Air Atlantic. Okay, so after that, you give the assurance that you are applying for it, and you are a suitable candidate. You are a suitable candidate for that job. Some assurance must be there, right? And then you can, start talking about your skills. You can talk about your achievements, like this is mentioned here. This fellow received some award for sales representation. Okay, so you mentioned that. And this fellow also mentioned that he has positive energy and hospitality, because hospitality is what is needed for the flight attendant. So that is, the skill set is also mentioned here. Thereafter, a bit about experience and strength. Then, in the end, in conclusion, you can see I would love the opportunity to speak with you about how my skills and experience would make me an asset to your flight crew. Now, the request is made. I will call you in a week to discuss how I can contribute. And then, vote of thanks. Thank you very much for your time and consideration. So, this is how you have to write. You have to maintain gratitude, sense of gratitude. You have to thank the reader for going through the cover note, and then you write sincerely, and you mention your name within bracket, and on top of your name you put your signature. These are the points to remember. Use correct format, the format of a formal letter. I've given you the format. Don't repeat information provided in your resume. Keep it short and to the point. Mention what post or course you are applying for. Explain why you are interested in the job or course and the company or institution. Draw attention to your suitability for the post. Lay the groundwork for further contact. Thank you. Have you got some questions, Swati? You want to ask me something? Tejaswini, do you have some questions? Do you have some questions, Tejaswini, Swati? I don't know why you people don't ask questions. You must ask some questions also. Thank you very much. I think you have got no questions. So I should say thank you to you. Thank you.